Welcome back. Now, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, don't tell that to Tom Boyle. At 82 years of age, he recently made headlines by becoming the oldest student at Waterford IT.
Yes, he's inspired the nation, saying that if he can do it, anyone can. And Tom joins us now, along with his wife of 50 years, Phyllis. You're both very welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Congratulations, Tom, first of all. What a brilliant achievement.
Some think it is. It's all past now. It's done.
It's done.
That's it.
But you talked about doing it for a long time, and
I did.
We are going to get there in a moment. But can we go back to when you guys got married, Phyllis? Because you got married back in 1966 in London.
That's right.
And you were a civil servant, and you had to leave your job at the time because, of course, of the marriage bar.
Correct. And I had to go, and I had to be in... He was in London, I was in Dublin.
Yes.
And I had to go over and be resident for 3 weeks. OK? So at that time, you had to be in love to give all this up.
Of course. So she was properly smitten, Tom.
Oh, hopefully.
Well, things worked out OK. You went on to have 7 children together.
That's correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you studied, Tom, but you didn't get to finish your studies.
True.
Is that where
That's
it started
right.
for you?
That's right. I was working by day and trying to attend by night. And when the attendance at night got a bit dodgy,
Yeah.
I just couldn't manage the two together, you know.
And was it just the fact that there was something you were too busy working and it became harder
Well,
and harder
we were,
to get there?
the firm I was working with were changing premises and all that at the time,
Right.
and location, and it wasn't helping the attendance now, to be honest.
Yeah. And were you sorry you had to let it go?
At the time, I was a lot younger than I am now.
Yeah.
I would be twice as sorry now if I had to let it go.
And what sparked the idea in your head to say, do you know what, now I'll go back and do it?
A sense of not having achieved anything.
Really?
That's really
And yet you had
honest answer.
And yet you had a full career, 7 kids, grandchildren.
True, but I knew I was capable of more than I had achieved.
Wow.
And to realise that ambition, I had to go out and achieve it.
So how did you decide, Tom, on the college course that you were going to do? You knew you wanted to achieve this. You knew you were well able. So what was the next step?
Strangely enough, I started out in WIT with law.
Right.
But I realised at the Easter time as I was coming, law somehow or other wasn't for me.
Right. It just didn't fit.
It didn't fit in somehow or other. And I always had Phyllis will tell you, I always had a great interest in the Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I approached the course director, Paul Clogher, and he said, yes, by all means you can change courses, why not? And I then approached him with the suggestion that, but could I get into second year?
Oh, lovely.
Well, he says, if you can prove to me that you've achieved first year somewhere else, I will. So I had achieved first year in UCD.
Yes, you had already done a year. Yeah.
And passed it.
Yes.
So he accepted that, and I went into second year arts.
Wow.
And talk us through your first day. Waterford IT, average age is 20?
20.
OK.
I suppose would be average age.
How many people in the class, approximately?
There'd be 20-odd. The first day I went in, there was 34.
Here we are, some pics. Brilliant.
34 did not finish it, I might as well tell you.
But even before you get to the first day, the first class, tell us about the journey you've to make to get to the college, because it wasn't a case of jumping in the car and driving down the road to the college, because you live in rural part of Wexford.
Got up about 10, 6:15, shower, shave, and get out on the road. Well, get a cup of coffee and something else to eat.
Yeah.
Now, the church is about, what, 200 yards down the road from us?
Yeah.
And the minibus used to pull up there because he couldn't come individually to us because he could be picking up somebody in Ballywilliam and somebody somewhere else.
He'd be all over the place.
He'd be all over.
So there was a central collection point for all of you.
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
For anyone in the Ramsgrange area, there was, of course. Yeah. And we went down from there to the ferry in Ballyhack.
All right.
Joined the queue.
Yeah, got on the ferry.
Got on the ferry over the passage, and then in
to Waterford.
No, on the way there were other colleges in Waterford, and he had to drop people here and there as he was going in.
So what time would you land in college at?
I'd arrive in college by 8:30 anyway.
Wow, OK.
First class, 9:15.
So you've done all of that kind of Phileas Fogg adventure before you even get to school.
That's true. Ah, yes.
And then-
But it was enjoyable.
Of course, it was part of it, I'd
Ah,
imagine.
it was part of the enjoyment because the young people, I ought to mention this, that in my opinion, the young people of Ireland today are absolutely marvellous.
Oh, isn't that so nice?
Ah, they're tremendous. I have great hopes for the country with them, do you know?
Well, that's
We're
great
in
to
safe
hear.
hands.
Oh,
so
I
were they
think so.
welcoming when they realised?
You have
you
no
were
idea
probably
how
quite
welcome.
a surprise to the
A
rest
little
of the
bit.
class, were you?
Yeah, a little bit. But then, to tell you the truth, I was like one of them.
Yeah.
They didn't make me out to be anything special or anything
Different.
out of the ordinary. I was just one of them.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the actual coursework, how did you find the coursework? Was it difficult?
It was difficult in the sense that you did one class, one place over here, and about 300 yards away you went off to another one. That sort of thing, you know. And here you are trying to make up the time between.
How did you get from A
But
to
other
B?
than that, it was marvellous because you were meeting people all the time and talking to people.
Yeah.
And in a word, everyone was marvellous.
That's lovely. There's
And
a
the
huge
college-
social element to college as well, isn't there?
Well, unfortunately, if you're on the evening bus leaving at 5 o'clock, there's very little social life you can attend to that.
You got to get back on the ferry, Tom.
Back on the ferry and home by 10 to
Curtails
6.
your activities.
Home by 10 to 6.
It's a full 12-hour day, though. It's a full day.
Well, almost a full day. But so what about it?
Well, this is true. This is true.
It
Tell
is
us
great.
then about, Phyllis, maybe I'll ask this of you, the day of the graduation. You must have been very proud.
I was proud. I was happy for him.
Yeah.
Been there, done, dusted now.
Yeah.
And I was happy for the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it gave, you know, we'd grown up, and at that time, people didn't have as much. You were talking there about,
That's
the
right,
price of
yeah.
toys and all that. They got nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know, but they're all here in Ireland. They're all working, and now I think it's good for their father to be. You know, they didn't. One of them went to college for a while, but didn't do.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of them are going to think about it now again.
Think seriously about it, like.
And
you
I
know.
think, and please God, even if you do, it's part of the journey in life.
Yeah.
And I think they have a long journey, please God, to make.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, because they're all adults, obviously now. You know.
What would you say to someone, Tom, who might be sitting watching this morning and thinking, God, I've always thought about doing something like that. And they're looking at you now going, it is possible. What would you say to them to encourage them?
Get up and do it.
Really? Simple as that.
Get
And
up.
in terms of
do
the
it,
application,
do
because-
it. Talk now. I would say talk it over with your spouse or your family first.
Yeah.
Of course.
Don't do anything wild, but
Yeah.
have it in the back of your mind that this is what I really want to do.
Incredible. Well, you're an inspiration, young man.
You really are, absolutely.
As are you, Phyllis.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I
you
don't
know
know
what?
so much about that.
Someone like Tom can't go through a journey like that without the support of someone like Phyllis. So
Correct.
there's two of you in it.
Out of the question.
Yeah.
Couldn't be
Okay.
done. Couldn't be done.
I don't
Well, listen,
know.
thanks for coming up. You better head now, because you have to get the ferry back, have you?
It'd be like a ferry going down the motorway.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
There's a bloody ferry that way, all right.
We'd be ferry
Sign outside saying, beware
Of
surface water.
Yeah,
we're looking
crocodiles.
out the window and saying it's great.
Listen, thanks for coming up. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Lovely
Yeah.
to meet you.
Congratulations
Pleasure to meet you.
to both of
Pleasure to
you.
meet
Yeah.
you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, after the breaks, 3 more super glam looks for the upcoming party season. See you then on the catwalk.